Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine McCoy and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for clicking in to drop by. But if you are a returner, it is always nice to have you back. This video, I'm going to be doing my monthly recap, this time for the month of July. And as I'm sure you can tell by the title, a lot of things were happening in July. So many things. I'm so happy to be able to, be moving into this second half of the year. It's only going to get better from here. It is only going to get better from here, and July really kicked it off. But before we get too far into this video, if you are not yet subscribed, that's okay. Let me help you out. You're going to take your finger, your cursor, whatever it may be. You're going to go into the bottom right-hand corner where there's a big red button that says subscribe. You're going to click that and you will be subscribed. That helps me out as a growing content creator. July was a very big month for my YouTube channel. When I went onto YouTube Studio, I looked at the analytics. I had a good month. And the way that I looked at that I found that out was by going to look at the views. It was my best month of views ever. I had 17,000 views and 1,400 watch hours. So that made me feel good. Part of it was because I did a couple of new things. I made my first 2 YouTube shorts, and I'm going to put those YouTube shorts right here now. Shorts were about the start of medical school. And if you have been following my YouTube for a long time, you know that I have been working towards the goal of medical school for years, literally for years. I started the application process January 20th of last year. Here I am now at medical school. And at this current time, I am 2 weeks into medical school, but we will get to that later. That will be saved for another video. So 2 of those videos were about the start of medical school. I did a little countdown talking about Beauty and Brains, talking about being in the pre-matriculation program. And then the other short that you saw was me modeling the Ivy Box. So if you did not know, I am an Ivy Box brand ambassador, and that means that I get to shoot some content for the items that come in our monthly Ivy Box. This month it was a polo and skirt active set. It was very cute. As you saw, I went on a little walk and just had a beautiful time with my Ivy Box. Another important part of my month this year is that I started a Patreon, and you can become a Patreon for as little as $2 a month, where every month you will pay that $2 and have access to special behind the scenes content. That behind the scenes content might be videos, pictures, being able to be a part of my creative process by offering suggestions, taking part in polls, and even telling me which title or which thumbnail you like the most. So check the link in my description for how it is that you can become a Patreon ambassador today. Moving on to the next section, which is Alpha Kappa Alpha. In the month of July, the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated painted Chicago, Illinois in pink and green. That is because we were here for our leadership seminar. Leadership seminar happens on the years where we don't have Boule. So I am already here in Chicago. For what reasons? We'll get to that later. But I was here in Chicago for a pre-matriculation program for medical school, and I had to request them, hey, for 3 days, I would like to have time off to be able to go to a conference. The conference is literally down the street and around the corner at East Wacker Drive. I would like to be able to go because Alpha Kappa Alpha is very important to me. It is a central part of my leadership, extracurriculars, community service, and I'd like to be able to go to this conference since it is quite possibly going to be one of the last ways in which I will be able to interact with members of the sorority before I start medical school. They said yes, I went. Oh, it also helps that when I explained I was going to this conference that I was able to say that I was delivering 3 workshops and 2 panel discussions. So the workshop I was working on was for the International Former Board of Directors Leadership Council. I participated in a panel about adulting, and I participated in another panel about what it means to have served internationally on our board of directors. So those were all of the things that I did. I was able to go have an amazing time. And if you haven't seen the 4 videos that I made for the days that I participated at the leadership seminar, you should definitely check those out. I will put those into the description as well. As promised, the entire reason why I am here in Chicago in the first place, I am going to medical school here at Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine. So that means I had to move here. School literally started on July 31st, the last day of the month. I started medical school, and I did make a video of that. Again, link in the description. But even before that, I came early for a pre-matriculation program. The pre-matriculation program was for underrepresented in medicine students, URM. So that's going to be people who don't usually see themselves as the doctor in the room. That's going to be people who are racial and ethnic minorities, women, people who live in very rural areas, people who are immigrants. That is who they were trying to pull in, and I applied and I got in. I met 16 amazing people and we had a fun time. Again, the link to the video that I made about pre-matriculation is in the description. If I know you might like seeing these monthly recap videos just to get the abridged version of everything that happened during the month, but during the month, I am making a lot of videos where I'm able to give specific time and attention to the things that happen. So if you would like to check that video out or the other ones, you can go to the description for the links. And the final thing I want to talk about is my experience of moving here to Chicago. If you know me, you know that I have moved 7 times. I moved all these different times before starting college. For college, I moved to Boston. The pandemic happened, I moved back to Cleveland with my parents, and now I have moved to Chicago. Whew, this was nerve-wracking. Even though I've moved all of these different times, it was my first time getting an apartment. It's my first time having to pay rent. Yay, not yay. I honestly feel like crying every time the first of the month comes around, but it's okay. It's a part of adulting. Remember, that's why I was on that panel. So living here in Chicago, it's a very big difference, but it's one that I welcome because it's a part of the experience. It's a part of the journey of medical school. It's a part of growing up and becoming Dr. McCoy, which will happen in 4 years. It's gonna happen in 4 years, but along the way, I am going to be learning, I am going to be growing, I am going to be progressing, and rent is a part of that. Unfortunately. Because Chicago is the 3rd largest city in the United States, obviously it's going to be a place for artists, musicians, all those kinds of people to make stops on for those tours, including Beyonce. So I was able to go to the Beyonce concert, and I've been able to enjoy the city in a wide variety of other ways. So I've been able to go to rooftop bars, restaurants, happy hours, clubs, and all of this has been with the different members of my class, because for some people, this is our first time being in a city like Chicago. We're trying to explore it, we're trying to take as much in as we can before the start of medical school, and that is exactly what we did. We also made sure to branch out and expand our network beyond just that of our fellow medical students. So I go to the Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine. We had a Chicagoland area medical student mixer. So it included, obviously, Feinberg, people from University of Chicago, people from Rush, people from Loyola. They came, we mixed, we mingled, we had a good time. I was even able to see someone that I went to college with that goes to a different medical school. He's walking up and I'm looking at him and I'm like, I know that face, I know that face. And it was someone that I haven't seen since 2019. But here we are, our paths crossed again. So it was amazing. And here's a little bit of video from that now. That's everything I have for the month of July recap. As you saw, a lot of things were changing. I was starting medical school, but some things did stay the same. Alpha Kappa Alpha. And even as I move through this big change, starting medical school, as I am hit with all of the different lectures, research, extracurriculars that I will start to take on, that is okay. I am going to make sure that I keep some of the things that are special to me, like Alpha Kappa Alpha, like my movies and TV shows, because I did go and see Barbenheimer, and also my YouTube channel. I'm going to continue making videos, continue sharing my experiences, my memories, and putting them out here. That way, when I am 80, I will be able to look back on these memories very fondly. And thank you very much for tuning in to watch. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.